Hello everybody, we're going to be talking about the revised controversy map today. This is, well, as the name indicates, a revision of your previous controversy map paper. So for each of your controversy maps, I have gone in and I've given you some extensive commentary, at least 3 solid and actionable suggestions for improvement on the paper. Now, if your paper was really good, they might be, smaller goals, but they are still something you can fix on the paper. And the important thing to remember about this particular assignment is that it is, you could have a pretty decent grade on the first draft, the first one that you turned in, and then not change anything and turn it in, and your second turn in would be really, really bad. Because the grade here, as we'll see when we look at the rubric, is based completely on setting effective revision goals and then fulfilling those goals. It's really very little of the grade is based on just a grade of the paper itself. It's based on improvement, rather. And in addition, this paper is worth more than any previous paper we've had in this class so far. So the previous 3 papers of all that are college graded have all been worth 10% of the college grade each. This particular paper is worth 15%. So it's essentially, the weight of a paper and a half. All right, so as I said, the process is as follows. You look back over the comments that I left on your paper in Canvas. Based on that commentary and based on your own perusal of your paper, you design at least 3 revision goals, and then you revise your paper according to those goals. All right. So, as it says right here, you must submit a completed revision goals worksheet to Canvas. If you don't submit that, there's no way I can tell what your goals are, and so therefore you're not going to get a good grade at all. This worksheet is absolutely essential, so do not forget it. So the worksheet is in Canvas with the rest of the assignment. So actually it'll be in the revised controversy map assignment. You'll see the this particular assignment itself, as well as the revision goals worksheet, and you should also be seeing this video that I'm recording right here in that same place. So if you found this video, I'm going to presume that you found the revision goals as well. So let's go ahead and look at the revision goals now. All right, so here is the directions based on the feedback you've received from me and your peers, and yeah, you can team up with a partner and ask them for some help too in finding revision goals. Come up with at least 3 revision goals. For each goal, transcribe instructor feedback that has led you to believe your paper should be improved in this specific way. So that means you'll need to go ahead and copy and paste directly from the comment that I left you into your paper. All right, and I'm going to ask you to type all of your responses, including the transcribed instructor feedback, in red. Just makes it a whole lot easier for me to see when I'm scanning through here, so I don't have to sort out what was it that I wrote and what was it that you wrote. I can just zero right in on what you wrote. All right, so the first thing you'll do is you'll just briefly state it in a few words. You don't have to put the instructor feedback there, just briefly state them here. Now recopy these bullet points, the ones that you put in 1A, in order of importance and number them. Say, okay, number 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, for what you believe is most crucial to improving your paper. And now tell me right here, right in this section below, why you put them in that particular order. What your reasoning was for that, because we need to be reflecting on why we're doing things, not just doing them. All right, and now we go through and we do each revision goal in a lot more detail. So this right here, right below there, is where you would transcribe instructor feedback. Then in your own words, just basically tell me what you think I'm saying and what it is you think that you need to fix on your paper. And then also in your own words, right down here, say what you are going to do specifically to achieve these goals that you set. And then finally, talk about how you think these proposed changes will improve your paper. Second revision goal, rinse and repeat. Same process. Third revision goal, rinse and repeat. Notice that 1, 2, and 3 are required. You have to have these 3 revision goals. Each one of them, I believe, is we'll look at the rubric in a little bit, but it's these 3 goals are the main. They're the main grade on the rubric. Is that you set these 3 goals effectively and you achieve them. That's most of your grade for the paper is those 3. Fourth and fifth, these are optional. These are perhaps there was additional things I pointed out besides just the 3 main comments, and so you're going to fix those as well. Or just things that you noticed on your own that you would like to better about your paper. So these 2 are optional. That being said, if there are more things to fix on your paper, it's probably a good idea to put those down. As we'll see in the rubric, there's a couple things that do kind of apply to any additional goals and just kind of the overall improvement of the paper. So let's go back to the assignment now, and we will go ahead and look at this rubric. Okay, so here we go. Revision worksheet. This is 15 out of 150 points on the college side, 10 out of 100 points on the high school side. So, because remember, there's 150 total points right there for this particular paper out of 1,000 for the whole semester. All right, so the first one is you completed the revision worksheet, the one we just looked at, this one here. You completed it, and you did everything you're supposed to. Okay. Second one that you included, yeah, basically all that stuff. So the revision goals, this one shows that in that revision worksheet, you have at least 3 goals, and these 3 goals are well made and well thought out. So this first one's kind of a completion one. This one's more of a quality of your goal setting. And then this final one is basically you prioritize these goals effectively. You really picked up on what it was that needed fixing the most, and you ranked them accordingly. Okay, so each of these are basically 10% of the paper. I know it says 15, but remember that's 15 out of 150 points, so it is 10% of the paper. Well, hello folks. Sorry for the little blip there. While I was scrolling down to the second page of the rubric, I realized that the grade weights there were all messed up. So I fixed them, and so now we're going to proceed through the rest. I do not know for sure if the printed out version I gave you is correct or not, because I may have grabbed a different version of the assignment or something here. So we'll need to check that. If that's the case, then I will print out the proper rubric and give that to you all on Tuesday. So just be on notice there if the rubric in your printed version looks slightly different. All right, so we already talked about this first page of the rubric. So the big idea here is that these 3 categories all add up to 30% of the total grade. So now we'll look at the second page for the remaining 70%. All right, so these 3 lines are all your 3 main goals. And these 3 lines are just essentially, these goals show, to get the high category in all 3, each of these goals needs to show substantive and significant improvements on each of the goals that you set. So goal 1, 2, and 3. And then you can notice that all 3 of these together add up to 60% of the grade. So 60% of the grade on this paper is essentially just, did you do the revisions that you listed in your 3 goals, and did you do them effectively? All right, and then our final category here is another 10% category, and I know it says 15 and 30, but once again that's out of 150 if you'll remember. So this final one is a 10% category, and it's just looking at the overall revision. Was the overall revision, did it lead to your paper improving? And also, did you set any additional goals other than the 3 required ones, as needed, and improve the paper by those means as well? So it's kind of looking at all the stuff outside of the 3 goals and just looking at your paper as a whole. All right, so that's the rubric. Now we'll go ahead and talk about when this is due. So your initial goals are due Tuesday at the beginning of class. So, if you're watching this on Monday when you're getting the assignment, and once again, I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you today, but I have jury duty. So if you're watching it on Monday, that would be the next day. So that's your task for Monday, is setting these goals. And any that you don't get done in class, have them done and just on your computer by the beginning of the next class. Just have them initial goals completed and on your computer by beginning of class on Tuesday. Tuesday we're going to team up and look over each other's goals and give each other some ideas for refinement, and then we're going to start revising. And that's what we're going to do essentially all week long, because the final paper is due on the 25th, which is Friday. So there you go. And once again, it is a major grade on the high school side. And on the college side, it is 150 of the total 1,000 points. So it's 15% of your semester grade. All right, everybody. So that's it. And look forward to seeing you again on Tuesday. Goodbye.